You guys voted.
The next time you're frightened in the dark, don't scream.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Badass Network. You all know me. I mean, well, you might know me as this. You also might know me as this. Sometimes this. But yes, I'm doing a second installment of my little show and tell series of my own personal collection. And you guys voted, and this had the most votes. So congratulations on voting. And if you voted for this, yay, you're going to see it next. And if you didn't vote for this, what were you thinking? But this piece, I absolutely love it because it's kind of like not only is it like a personal piece that I like, it's also kind of like a motivational piece as well. And if you guys saw it, it is the face, the mounted face. But this was originally well, here, I'll just lift this up so you guys can see it better because there's a glare. This was originally just a face prosthetic that you would glue to somebody's face. If you look at it real quick. And my wife, for a Halloween, wanted to do some decorating. This was before we even started dating. And so she took this prosthetic piece and pinned it onto the area as if you were displaying like butterflies, like that. And, you know, added the blood and everything like that, put it in the case. And this had been, you know, in like the Halloween storage bin for the longest time, and I came across it, and I just absolutely love this piece. And I asked her, I was like, can I please put this in my room? Can I put this on display? And yeah, she was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, and stuff. But the reason why I like this piece so much is because it ends an argument that she always tries to give with me. I always, you know, I'm a crafter. I'm a mask maker. The MaskMonger. I make props and all kinds of stuff. I sit out here in the creation station and I make things all the time. You guys have seen this YouTube channel, hopefully, or my TikToks or anything like that, and understand that this is one of the things that I do. Well, my wife tries to convince me that she doesn't have a creative bone in her body, but she did this, and this is proof that when she tells me that she doesn't have a creative bone in her body, she's a liar. You know, but in her head, she doesn't understand why this would be creative. She uses some of the stuff, like, my wife is a very brilliant person. She is a clinical scientist, microbiologist, hematologist, worked in the hospital laboratory for years and years and years. And she did this because she remembers of, you know, dissecting and putting stuff on display and everything. You know, she dealt with cadavers and held like human skulls at college and whatnot. But yeah, so she tries to tell me that she doesn't have a creative bone in her body, but because of her experience getting ready to work at hospitals and stuff like that, gave her the inspiration to make this piece. And most crafting and art and whatnot, you have to be inspired. And she was. And she built this. And she put this together. And I've seen some places that have something kind of the equivalent to this at like Days of the Dead, Midwest Hunters Convention, Trans World, Halloween show. And they sell them in upwards of $150 to $300. Like, I myself, if I would have saw this at, like, say, Days of the Dead or something like that, and saw like $100, $200 price tag on it, I would buy it. And so that's why I try to convince my wife that yes, she is artistic. Yes, she is creative. Because I think what it is too, it's proof that some people put creativity and artisticness in a box. They think if it's not a painting or a full-on, you know, clay sculpture, then it's not art. This is art. This got a great reaction out of me. I saw it and I immediately fell in love with it. I think it was one of the coolest things that I'd seen in a while. And that's why I keep this above one of my doorways in my crafting room, because it just reminds me that if you're starting to doubt yourself, this is a piece, even though my wife made this, she still doesn't believe that she is creative. And this just completely nullifies what she says. So, I love you, and I keep this piece, and I look at it all the time. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yes, even though this technically isn't a mask, it is a facial prosthetic. It's made in Mexico. It's still, I hold it dearly as a part of my personal collection. I will never be getting rid of this. But if you want something like it, I believe I can probably convince my wife to finally make one. Or second, if you will. So there you go. I'm going to cut and put some shots on it where I'll lift this up, do some close-ups and everything so you guys can get a better look at it. But thank you guys for watching it. This is my second episode of my show and tell. I don't have a full-on name for it or anything like that. But just remember that my wife doesn't believe she has, I keep saying it, my wife doesn't believe she has a creative or artistic bone in her body, and she made this. So if you are doubting yourself and being creative, if my wife did this and she doesn't think that she's creative, what about you? If you don't think you're creative, why don't you just sit down and see what you can do? Play around. Find inspiration anywhere. So, there you go. Guys, it's been fun. We'll see you on the next one. And until then, you know.
The next time you're frightened in the dark, don't scream.